things. But anyway, the players seem ready to start, so they
Excellent.
can start when ready. Hopefully the cameras aren't going to fall over. We're going to need to remasking tape these cameras at some point. Hopefully somebody hears me. But anyway, I will.
So in
I'll
this
leave
round,
you
we're
guys
gonna
to get on with the commentary, and these guys will hopefully start drawing.
So in this game, we're going to be seeing Harshan versus Ed, correct?
Harshan, the tournament leader, against Ed Rossiter. So here's a very important game for both players. And Harshan has been playing some great Scrabble recently. Obviously, appeared in the World Championship final, which he did lose, but he was obviously very excited to get there and have the possibility of being the world champion. And he's carrying on in like vein here. So should be a good matchup, Ben.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Harshan play again. I've met Harshan for the first time at Causeway. I'm sure a lot of newer players did. I know he was quite the player back in the day, and he's come back and seems just as, if not even stronger.
Exactly. He took a long time out, and now he's back and feeling great about himself. Yeah, we're having a little bit of trouble seeing the R there, which we've now seen, but it's a bit difficult for players. So it's going to be Harshan to play first, and he's lining up Dude.
I think. Oh, he's also lining up Dirt. I'm not. That's not a word I knew.
Dirt during. D. D.
D looks pretty reasonable. I don't know if I like giving all those tiles away for H, but it's either that or exchange. It's not really a great opening rack.
I think he's going to go. I think he's going to go for Dude.
I was about to suggest Do. Quite reasonable. It doesn't give nearly as much back, and the leave is pretty strong. And
yeah.
I think he's really thinking about this one. I think he's trying to decide between Dude, and Do.
Yeah, exactly.
Giving
so he's just going to play Dew, so that will give him perhaps a slightly greater chance to draw to a bingo. And yep.
I think opening short is pretty good here. It's just more defensive, and I know Harshan can be a pretty defensive player.
Yeah.
He sacrificed quite a bit of equity when I played in my U.S. versus UK match a few weekends ago. I remember him sacrificing quite a bit of equity to shut the board down against me, and it paid off for him.
Right, so we've got a situation here where Ed is perhaps going to fish here for a bingo.
I would like just either playing off IDEE or just exchanging 3. I think I might even just prefer.
What about OE? What about OE above OU and E?
That's also reasonable. I've heard that vowels are better in Collins than they are in TWL, so maybe that's a good alternative as well.
I think that's what he might do.
I would be inclined to keep Sire over that here.
He's going to do that, so yeah, it seems nice because obviously OE only hooks with the S, and
it seems nice, but unfortunately, it doesn't block. It doesn't quite block Harshan's bingo here.
Right. But he wasn't to know that, so is he going to draw a bingo himself? Yeah, so.
So I think Hardened is going to come down here.
Ardent making row as well, so that looks good.
It does actually give back a bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets back measlier.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute.
Let's see if Ed sees those overlaps. Okay, so Harden comes down. Oh yeah. Oh, that's even better. Seamlier.
Seamlier is going to be fine. You had Armories as well at the top, so that's going to be a 4-timer and put him in the lead.
Yes, definitely the best play here.
Yeah.
I forgot Almaries. I also forgot Seamlier. I always forget that word because I once played it with an A. Luckily, it stayed on.
Yes, indeed. So we've got tit for tat here. Ed takes a 20-point lead, but that's just the start of the game. He's going to be relieved that he's drawn to bingo after OE, so that's good. And shortly going to see what Harshan's drawn from that bag. And so far, it looks grim.
Andrew in the chat saying, I believe Andrew Fisher saying that Ed is kind of a dark horse in this tournament. He's maybe just a less known player who's just up and coming and might take the tournament by storm. He's been doing pretty well so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He's drawn a nice rack himself. He's going to have loads of possibilities to score himself. Well, meanwhile, Harshan's going to have to be careful here.
Yes.
He can go for score with Moan, but NNTT is not looking good. Maybe he's gonna
he might prefer
try something
like
else.
Noun.
Yeah, Noun would be better, but only marginally.
You can live with double T's. You can't really live with double N's in this spot.
Yeah.
If you draw another T, you're in some trouble, though.
Yeah.
It's very difficult play for Harshan here. I think he probably wants to play something like Noun, but doesn't. Not happy about the leave. You can also play something like Month. But that has its own problems. You're gonna need to draw a vowel next turn, but it does give you one more tile to try and draw them to them. It does set up your W. You're probably gonna be able to score pretty well with that next turn as long as you draw at least one vowel.
I think I prefer Month.
Quinn is suggesting Maisie, but Quinn, it's actually the other rack that's on play right now.
Obviously, if he doesn't play at the top there, we're going to see OYEZ come down, which is going to be a very painful.
No, I'm sorry.
Thing.
I'm sorry. We're actually looking at the other rack this turn. We're looking at the other side. I thought we were, and I got confused. There are a bunch of plays here. He could play Toes. He could play Yez. There's just like a huge number of scoring plays.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Sorry, we're a little bit behind ourselves. So is fantastic, and that is going to that is going to give Harshan a little bit of a lead there. Not a huge one, of course. Yeah. He's got the possibility of Tom now at the top, so and making MEH. So that's another thing to look at as well here.
Asking the chat if Motown is valid. I don't think it is. Oh no, it is not. It has an anagram.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Tomon.
Oh really?
I'm sorry.
Okay. So would
12th month.
Okay. So Tomon would be quite a nice play, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't score quite as much as some other options, but it definitely cleans up that rack. You're getting rid of
cleans up the rack. Yeah.
You deduplicate your ends, you deduplicate your T's.
So quite an important move here for Ed, and we're going to see. He's going to see Nom.
Okay, I assume he just didn't know Tomon. If not, then Nom is a perfectly reasonable play.
Yep.
Oh wow, Tomont.
Tomont. Okay.
That's going to be very similar. Like Quackle has them in dead heat in terms of valuation, at least.
All right. So we've got obviously scoring potential here for Harshan. HAAF goes very nicely above the eye of Simlia, and yeah, and I guess there'd be nothing wrong with that. You see anything better, Ben?
I'm still looking.
No, he's gone for it. So
HAAF, yeah, it looks pretty good. Scores a lot.
Keeps the balance going, and yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
I'm still having trouble seeing what that last tile, LRT or ERT.
I think it was it's LRT, right?
Yeah, it is an LRT.
Yeah, we have.
And Quackle's going to like half.
Yeah. No surprise there.
Harshan playing this game quite well so far.
Indeed, he's got a 53-point lead, so it's a nice start for him. It's going to be a bit. Looks like it might be a bit clunky there. Ed's got anti and what, W-A-T, anti-what, and a twait is lining up, but that's a twain obviously is a word, but
I think he's just lining up that.
I don't think he wants to play too many letters. Is Orn? Would you play Orn, AWN? Or is there much better things?
I thought it was. Oh yeah, it is Ed's turn, so I would probably play on here. I'm sure he wants to deduplicate that T is the only it's the only problem with on. If
Absolutely, but it's not the end of the world. So
no, it's
and he
not.
scores, but we'll see.
Options if he doesn't draw into a bingo next turn are going to be pretty slim for him.
Yeah,
and especially against Harshan, who I know likes to block the board. It's not necessarily a guarantee that he's going to get a bingo even if he draws into one. And if he does, it might be something from EE for like 65 points. And if you don't, you're just not scoring anything next turn. I still think you have to play on, but I don't know if you're very excited about it. Ooh, that's a really nice play.
That's nice. Thinking the W, which is good. It looks better.
I like that a lot better than on.
Yeah.
You're turning over for a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
Very nice play by Ed. Very impressive.
And he's maximising his chance perhaps of getting an S and the blanks. So good play there probably from Ed.
I don't assume bull rat is a word, so even if it was, Harshan would have anywhere to play it.
Blurtle sounds brutal. It sounds brutal.
It does sound brutal. It would be really brutal for.
It sounds like brutal, but it's blurtle. So it sounds like a lovely word, but of course it isn't one. But it
would really be brutal if there was a Y open. Brutally, but
it doesn't have two L's.
That's not.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, of course it does. Yes.
I don't really see any great plays that fit quite with Harshan's styles of playing defensively, so I think blurred is fine.
Blurred looks good, and catting. Not this play, but
doesn't come down.
It doesn't come down. Of course, Want blocked the two E's there and made it impossible to come across there. So
he stuck with the strategy of blocking his own bingo.
Exactly. So unless we've missed something, but he's lining up catting. But what's it going to go through?
He's thinking of cattling, which is not a word. It's only,
no, he's going to reject.
It's only cladding. Yeah, smartly so. Can't be doing that kind of foolishness against Harshan.
Yeah. Any nothing through.
Oh my! Did Harshan just pick up both blanks?
Ooh, could have done.
Wow.
BOXAL and 2 blanks.
First thing that jumped out to me is salt box, but
salt box. Wow.
There must be a lot more. Almost box balls is a triple.
Oh, goodness me.
He does have box balls as a regular bingo through that L.
Right. And we might see it go down.
Yeah. Wow.
Is there any merit here in just playing coy?
Playing do you think that would be a coy play?
You're having me losing my teeth laughing here in Bangkok, Ben. I don't know what he's going to do here. He's not going to play cattling, but the times I've made terrible plays keeping on to ing. It's been a terrible weakness of myself.
I've been trained to hate the G.
Yeah. I have been trained in more recent years to hate the G, but old habits die hard, Ben.
I believe you. I kind of got rid of that habit once I figured out that ing wasn't the end all be all of Scrabble and that you could play other words.
Right. I think you may well be smart there. No wonder you beat me so many times at Causeway.
Oh, I like this play.
Magic! It gets rid of the C and the G, and that is magic. And keeps NTT, of course, but scores well, and we're going to see a wonderful play coming down here from.
I'm looking forward to seeing what
Harshan
comes up with this. He doesn't even have to bingo here. Is the thing.
No, he
can
doesn't.
Just score 40 if he wants to and keep 2 blanks. He might decide to though. I get people.
He might, but I think if he could see the rack, which Ed has, he might think that 40 is better, but of course he can't. But
I see a lot of people in the chat saying that they don't know the word box ball, which is very disappointing to me because box ball was one of my favorite things to play as a kid in elementary school.
Okay,
recess.
So what is or was box ball then? It's an American game, is it?
I'm not. It's more of just like a playground game. It's not really. It's tough to describe all the rules and just like being put on the spot. I know that there are 4 squares, and it's kind of like a handball sort. You want to try and land the ball in someone else's box, and then it can bounce once, and then they have to hit it back into another box. And if they don't, then they're out, and they have to let someone else play.
Man, you Americans, you have so much fun. Yeah, it's not like
England. I didn't know what the other sport you were describing. Something involving. Yeah, we don't have conkers.
Oh, how dreadful!
It sounded fun.
Oh, it was great fun, especially when you soaked the conkers in vinegar and put them in the oven to harden them. There was all sorts of tricks. But box ball sounds a hell of a lot more fun. I mean, you Americans, you have much more fun than we do.
Debatable.
The question is,
Quinn is saying that game was also called Foursquare.
Okay.
If you've heard of that term, I guess people have gone away from calling it that because of the website Foursquare. I do remember it being called that. I wonder if coaxable is a word.
Coaxable? I
can probably coax that out of Ziziba.
Yeah, it's not. Right, okay. I wasn't sure about that. I
wonder if there are any bingos from that C.
Looks like there should be bingos everywhere, or the potential for them, but it's not necessarily that easy. I
just queried Ziziba, and there's some very, very low probability bingos from that C.
Okay.
Carboxyl, which is a chemistry term, and then 2 box words: clack box and clang box.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I kind of would have expected one of those to go down already if Harshan had seen it.
He might not be sure of those.
Absolutely.
Not really a reason to.
Yeah, these are some of the most tricky balls. So he's played box balls, and that's
there we
good.
Go.
He plays your lovely childhood game there, Ben. So you must be pleased with that.
I am.
Are we going to see a challenge? I wouldn't be surprised. It's a huge score. He's hanging his finger over
doing that all and his opponent. Well, it's a challenge.
We see an instant challenge, and that's gonna get another 5 points.
You don't know that
Harshan.
Then you're definitely gonna want to challenge that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we can pretty much assume that he saw that straight away. Obviously, it was not as good, or I believe that it was not as good as the words from the C, but they were extremely difficult and low probability. So box ball was perhaps more likely to be seen. And
I also have to wonder if he just didn't want to open that part of the board. If he did see them, I'm not sure if he did though. Those are very, very difficult to see.
Yeah, exactly. So
I wouldn't expect anyone except maybe Nigel to find those with regularity.
well, yeah, Nigel would see it straight away, but you know,
I think Mac would
all
see Carboxyl pretty straight away.
yeah,
And Will, those guys are incredible at blank bingos.
yeah. So here we've got a vowel opened on the triple, which is you know, going to probably mean something simple. Is it like cold?
I'm looking at cold. This is not a very good draw for Ed, but I'm sure he's happy to at least see that. Oh, there, he could at least score 30 and move on with his life and hope draw him to a bingo next turn.
Of course, we got a fantastic. Is that a fantastic draw there for Harshan?
Looks pretty fantastic to me.
Yeah, it looks like a bingo through the eye. So
yeah,
we're going. I would think there's no way that there's no way that Ed's not going to play at the triple up there. So we're going to see Harshan take a much bigger lead now away from this. And
I agree.
This game is tending to look like it's going to be over before it's really got going.
Yeah, these games, they've been close for a little while, and then one player just opened them up. Last round, Mark kind of did the same thing. Yeah.
But that's Scrabble. I mean, you see all sorts of games. Sometimes you just have to take these things on the chin. And at the moment, sitting without a vowel, we have Ed Rossiter, and he's going to be 80 behind and then 170 behind, we think. So it's not going to be easy. This.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Ed. So one of the things I heard recently, and it's good advice for anyone, is if you play Scrabble, you're going to lose. Sometimes it's going to be your fault. Sometimes it's not going to be your fault. And you just have to accept that. And once you do, you'll have a lot more fun.
I mean, I used to teach the game at schools, and it was very valuable for teaching, school children that, things don't always go right, but don't worry about it, move on, and they saw me losing many times and, obviously being successful sometimes. And it's a great learning experience, especially for children who are playing the game. So
absolutely.
He's drawn a bit better there, but we think something like Granier, is it?
Yeah.
Or is it?
Yeah, I think Granier is going to come down. Unless he's looking for a bingo through that C or from the C. He is earring lined up. So, I see where it plays. You could play from EEW.
Oh yeah. To play.
I don't know if Harshan's going. I don't know if Harshan wants to tempt the fates by doing something like that, though.
I wouldn't do that.
I would not do that.
I would play Granier. I think you got to play Granier because it just gives nothing back. Earring will leave it the possibility that Ed could bingo twice in quick succession, and he's going to play Granier, I'm sure.
Triple once.
Yeah. Granier takes a lot of things out. It means that there's sort of bingos down to the ROES and bingo starting with E, but those are harder, and anyway they would give counterplay, I expect. So Granier goes down, and no surprise there.
I think Harshan came to his senses and decided to play it safe here. No reason not to.
No reason to open the door, or even a little crack, Ben. Opening that door has sometimes caused us to be very, very unhappy.
I can say so from experience.
Yeah. And being a little bit greedy can be a whole bad experience. And so we're going to see Tarp played here and
Pint probably.
Yes, I think that's pronounced pint rather than pint, but yes, indeed. So here we see the 9-timer open up. You never know, he might not draw a vowel. and you know,
Gotta hope. Maybe I'll draw into a 9-timer and my opponent won't draw any vowels.
exactly. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's about the last possibility that he's going
at
to
this
have.
At this point, hope is basically your only strategy.
And that hope has gone.
Oh. So I think there's at least 1 8 in that rack. Can you figure it out?
I can't see the tile that's.
I'm talking about Ed's rack.
Oh right, okay.
I can't see that tile myself. I see G. Oh, I can see it. So Gooiirt is the rack. I didn't see Harshan is going to quickly play Griot, which is absolutely fine. It blocks that triple.
Yeah.
Playing it safe again. And so if there was an open R, there was an open R, Ed would have Parakite, but unfortunately for him, there's not.
All right. Okay. So
he's probably just gonna play something like Beak here or Bake. This is probably where I would just give up and cut my losses if I was Ed.
Well, yeah, you know, obviously spread in the tournament of the, especially a short tournament like this could be important, and we're important to keep your composure as well and keep your thinking straight right to the end. There's many games to come, so you know, just okay, we're going to lose this one, but just keep thinking.
Yeah, I know he also lost a pretty close one in the last round to Graham.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be impressed if he's able to bounce back from this.
So it looks like he's lining up Beak to make a decent score, and
fine play here. Put him within 100, but not going to be.
It's going to be about 100 behind. I very much doubt it. But you never know. So
Harshan does not have a good rack here. I think he's going to have to play QI somewhere.
QI and GI probably is that the play? Looking like a possibility there, just to dump that Q. I don't think he's going to be thinking about too much else.
Fine.
There's nothing
like
really else to do. I think he's going to do that.
I think that's going to come down.
Yep. So he does that, and that
is not the rack. That is not the miracle rack that Ed needed.
It was not. It's not. He's, you know, yeah. This is just not going to be his game. But let's see what he does.
Oh, it looks like Harshan just drew into studios. Wow. Do you play that at this juncture in the game, opening up?
Well, yeah, I think so, because he's even a triple is not gonna bleed him anyway, is it?
Yeah, it would have to be a hell of a triple, and
yeah.
Even like at this point, you do need spread, and you can't just account. Even if your opponent has a 1 in 10,000 chance of hitting a triple and they hit it, good for them. I want the spread.
Yep. So
playing it safe is great and all, but you also have to be reasonable.
Yeah. And there really is nothing to indicate categorically that Ed is holding anything really decent. So we'll probably see here a reasonable play. Of course. Yeah, J, P, V, and W all on the same rack. Yeah.
It's not what he wants to be seeing right now.
No, not at all.
I might even just play something like Jaw here.
I'm tempted by Jaw. Who knows?
Well, Nigel probably knows.
Nigel will know. I'll phone him up, shall I, and ask him what he'd do. I very much doubt he's actually online. I don't think he has such a thing as a computer. He has some mean old phone that he gets out occasionally, but I think he uses it to tell the time because he refuses to buy a watch.
I'll be happy to step out if he wants to do commentary instead of me. Oh,
I don't think that's likely.
I don't think that's likely either. We can dream. Quackle spots a very, very cool play of Pwn, PWN.
PWN.
And PST and WE. Scores 34.
Yeah, very nice. That's very nice.
That's a very tough. They're three-letter words. They should be second nature, but this is a very tough play to spot.
Yeah, it is. That's a top play because you just don't look there unless you really look. And as you say, that's they're easy words because everybody playing at this level should know the three-letter words, of course.
It's tough enough to find a three-letter word without any vowels, but to find two of them.
yeah, that's right.
On the same play, it's just so unlikely.
That's right. And that's the beauty of Scrabble. It doesn't have to be sort of 8-letter words and, playing through 2 to make massive long things. Sometimes it is just those tiny little things. He goes for a tiny little thing, but he's just gone for joy. And
there's a lot of skill in that sort of stuff sometimes.
The joy is not the end of the world because it means he's only played one letter. It gives him a chance to hit a couple of bingos, possibly later, but he's not going to have that chance.
So, next question: do you still play studios after your opponent's played off one tile?
It's a good point. I mean, my own feeling is yes, you do. But is that the one possibility of opening up the start of him, winning, coming back? I'm not sure about that. I think your original analysis of getting the spread here, because there's only a small amount of chance of actually hitting that, is worth it.
So we hear from the chat that there is a 99.24% chance of winning the game after playing studios, which is not 100.
It's not 100.
Now this is gonna sacrifice some win percentage, but it will give a lot back in terms of equity. You're gonna win by a lot more on average.
Yeah, I think so. I
think Harshan did think about it. He's probably a little bit scared, but I think he just has to go for that spread.
Well, seeing just one letter played, but it didn't go down in a heartbeat, Joy, did it? He thought that he thought.
That's probably what he figured. If your opponent instantly plays Joy, you might be too scared.
You might.
In any case,
Wispy is going to be quite a lot back, but obviously Wispy is not going to do it. Not going to be enough for him. So it's.
We're going to see another B word.
So that left Vat on his rack, which at last is a little bit more manageable, but...
Wispy comes down, but he's not quite out of the woods. So at this point, the game is basically over. I think Harshan's just going to be trying to find his highest scoring plays here.
Sure. And what have we got there? EEFIN. I can't quite see that one.
OV. FEEINOV. You could play something like E down at the bottom. You could also play something like video up at top. He's probably also just looking for bingos in the pool, just to make sure just do your due diligence to make sure you're not missing anything. Through Harshan is playing some wishful thinking here, looking for an R that doesn't exist for overfine.
Yeah. Okay. He's down to under 4 minutes, so he doesn't want to give anything away. But that's plenty of time for him to think.
Yes.
8 unseen, so
one in the bag.
He wants to maximise the chance of going out in 2, i.e. this turn and then going out. So Nave's nice.
I did not know that could be spelled that way.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure of that one either. So
yeah,
that's very nice.
That's a nice pair of words. That and NIEVE. I only knew the latter.
And that just with OF is going to be looks on the face of it to be very likely to be able to get out there. And,
yeah, I think any tile except for the V does it for him.
Yeah. Also scores well, so I think we could say a very strong performance here from Harshan.
I've liked every one of his plays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Box balls is probably the largest mistake, and if your biggest mistake is in turn when you're playing bingo with probability about below 30,000,
it's not a big deal.
You're doing something right.
Exactly. So we can't blame him for that.
Oh wow! The last tile in the bag is the S.
Oh, right. Okay.
Harshan's probably just amused by that. He has the only outplay I see offhand is wafts.
Yeah.
Oh, and also UFOs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Ed's
things are wrapping up here.
Ed's got a bit of time to just figure out here how to minimize his spread loss. So
maybe something like devout. That does give back soft though.
Devout gives soft, unfortunately. Absolutely. So there might be something better.
Paco will tell us.
Yeah.
Paco will tell us the best play. It is Viduta.
Viduta. Okay, which gives oaths, right? But
yeah. It's still okay though. I don't know that you can block everything here.
We might have missed something anyway.
Yeah, there's also doffs. We hear from the chat that Vout Wispy 8 through Wispy, if it were a word, would win by 3.
Out Wispy 8. Yes.
I don't think that was.
Probably to have the power to add your own word once in your life to the dictionary, wouldn't it? And surprise everybody. But I'm afraid those kind of things are perhaps a little bit beyond us mortals.
I would sell for playing one that's slightly less ridiculous. Or I would sell for playing the one that loses by 4, so your opponent can't challenge. I'm just informed in the chat that DOF does not take an S, which I should have known.
Right. DIF, I guess. So Viduta, it looks like he's putting. Oh no, okay.
Oh, he's gonna make the second best play here of value.
Okay.
It's a 4-point mistake, but that's pretty good for an end game. I Wish I was that
It's,
good at games that I can just make 4-point mistakes all the time.
Okay, so here we think we're going to see one of the outplays. Yeah.
Well, nicely played by Harshan.
Oh, definitely.
He'll continue to be undefeated after this.
Absolutely. He's got a very nice win, got some nice spread, and he's going to be feeling very good here on the first day at the National Scrabble Championships.
Be absolutely thrilled. I'm sure he'd be absolutely thrilled to get a nice win here. I know he got third at Causeway. Or no, I think he got fourth at Causeway, and he got second at Worlds, but I'm sure he's hungry for a win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially after Nottingham. So he's got soft down there, which looks good. And
oh, yeah, that's a little bit better than what I saw.
Yeah, so he's going to take this by about 140. So good win for Harshan.